Hey guys, I'm here with Mike in St Andrews at the Callaway National Performance Centre and I'm getting new irons. So it was this time last year I got fitted for my Callaway Paradyms, so I'm here again 1 year later getting fitted for the Apex irons. So it was Mike that fitted me last year, so I'll be looking forward to see the differences in my swing and in my numbers. So let's go.
Let's get to it. Hey Keeks, welcome to the Performance Centre in St Andrews. What we're going to take a look at today?
We're taking a look at the Apex irons.
Perfect. So what are you currently liking with the current irons and what would you like to see improve if we're going to try and find an improvement?
Consistency. I feel they were forgiving though, so I actually have enjoyed using them.
Good. What would you say the longest iron in your bag as well has been the most, or what would you get to as the most comfortable, and then when does it start to become uncomfortable?
7.
And then after that?
Well, I only got fitted for a 6 iron. That's the longest iron I have in the bag. So I can't use my long irons.
And 6 irons still not quite there?
It still looks brand new.
Okay, that's okay. and so what we're looking at today is, obviously the golf definitely has improved.
Yeah.
However, we just want to see if there's anything within the Apex range, which I'm sure there will be, as to how we can try and elevate beyond what you currently have.
Yeah.
Anything that you, obviously consistency, what about when you do hit it well, is the ball stopping on the green? Have you ever seen the ball kind of going a little too far, or has it been inconsistent enough to not really get an idea?
It's been inconsistent, but when I hit it well, it always goes over the green.
Okay, so a little bit more control on landing would be ideal. Okay, perfect. Well, what we'll do is grab your 7-iron to start, because that'll be the club that will base it off.
Okay.
We'll hit 5 shots. We'll hit it towards the 150 board in the distance. Get those 5, take a look at the data, and then we can take a look at the range we've got and see how we can make it better.
Okay, sweet.
So 5 shots in your own time.
Okay, well, that was just bad.
Good.
That's better.
Better contact.
Oh, so bad.
That's not so bad. Don't be so dramatic.
Guess where she got that from?
Yeah.
Okay, so main things for me here, we've got a club speed at 66. So I'll be interested to see what we go shaft-wise to get that checked. But head-wise specifically to that, I'd like to see a little bit more height with this, get a bit more carry distance. So that and also the gap between the carry and the total is a bit too big. Okay, so we want to try and see if we can get the ball to, when it gets hit, it launches a little higher.
Okay.
Make sure it carries a little further and then doesn't roll as much.
Okay.
I feel like the ones that you're hitting just there, there's a little bit too much roll.
Okay.
Yeah, which is going to give you less chance at keeping the ball to stop on the green. Because greens aren't infinite in size unless you play the old course, of course. A lot of greens are a certain length back to front. And obviously side to side. But the main thing is when you do try and land the golf ball on the green, we don't want it rolling more than 12 yards. Right now, you've got a bit of a roll that's near 30, which we need
so
to...
could that also be to do with the swing?
Could also be do with the swing as well. Yeah, absolutely. So with the way that it's delivered, we've got how much down. So is the sweet spot of the club moving more down as it comes into impact, or is it moving up? But you've also got how much loft. That way?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've also got that way. Yeah, so that way can affect height, spin, things like that.
Right.
Yeah, but also it can be shaft, it can be what head style we go for, which in the AI range for Apex, it's going to be more 300. 200, it's going to be less helping you get the ball in the air. Okay. Because it's going to have the much sleeker look, where it's really good for what they call player distance. But the 300 has a little bit more what's called offset. So much like the club you've got here, the leading edge is set a bit more back from the hosel. Oh. And it's a little wider and there's more weight at the back and the bottom. Okay. Which is going to try and help get the ball up. Oh, yeah? Okay. So let's get started there. Cool. Now, what we'll do first is let's just get a starting point on length. I do this with everyone. Starting point of wrist to the floor and what your height is. Okay. And then we'll get a starting length, starting idea of what shaft will be. We'll put the AI 300 in there and get you hitting it. Sweet. Yeah? So if you just stand a little bit more that way, that's it. Let your arms relax down by your side. Perfect. And then from there, I'm just going to get a measure on what your wrist to the ground is. 34.5. Perfect. And do you know what your height is with shoes on?
I would say like 5'5.5".
5'5.5". 34.5. Again, this doesn't have to be exact. It's just a starting point. Beauty.
Oh, that was good actually. Oh, okay.
That was awesome.
That felt better.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's nice.
Really good. Lovely.
3 shots.
They sound so nice.
Okay, so already if you see the differences here. So see how the heights come from 27 up to 40.
Wow.
Carry's gone from 98 up to 129. And total then goes from 125 to 150.
Wow.
Yeah, so now we're starting to see more like it's now 20 rather than 30 yards
Right.
in roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Now obviously we'd want to try and get them a little bit more lofted up. Yes, the AI 200 is more lofted. I wouldn't say with where you're at right now with your golf, I would want to go there. I'd
Right.
probably just loft these up to try and give you more loft, because what you'll enjoy with these is, and if we see the difference between the two, bottom of this is a little bit different in thickness. It's also different in width, and there's a lot more kind of forgiveness coming through the 300
Okay.
than there is the 200. You'll get there in time. I believe in your golf. You will get there.
Thank you.
But right now I'd be looking towards a 300 just to give you that extra bit of forgiveness
Okay.
and that little bit more offset, just to try and get that height on it as well. But that was a great start.
That was. I like them.
Really good start. That was good there.
See, when Mike's talking about like that one who we were comparing heads, feel free to like bring
Just
that
go,
camera
yeah,
close.
yeah.
Like, just don't be like.
Just don't want to be awkward and go.
No, you're fine. Oh, no, it's okay to invade my personal space.
Sorry,
It's
you know
totally
what? I'll
fine.
keep that in this, right? I just do like travel vlogs, then we go on a trip, and it's just like unedited stuff like that, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it just makes it more fun."
Yeah, exactly.
But
Oh,
lighthearted.
it's- yeah,
It's
people
that
like
way.
that.
It's human.
Exactly. It takes the whole like.
Takes the seriousness out.
Don't take life so serious. Don't take golf so serious.
But just make sure you're gripping underneath that elastic band, just because
Okay.
right now that's too long if you grip it the full length.
Okay.
But same idea. Just going to give this a test, just see how this goes. We've got one more shaft to try after this one, but I really like this 300 here for you.
Okay.
Better. Other one was better.
Yeah. Was that a?
So this was a slightly lighter shaft.
I felt. Yeah.
Yeah, so this one was slightly lighter than the previous one. We went with 70 grams in your initial fit last year. I literally tried the exact same in the shaft in weight first time.
Okay.
I'm just playing about with 2 different flexes at the minute.
I think a lot of people get confused as to like, they're like, oh, you're still a beginner, why did you get fitted so often? But like, I feel it gives you that reassurance.
Yeah, but also as well, like the reassurance, a lot of people think that fitting is about, I need to be swinging it perfectly, and that I'm going to then go out, if I do go to a fit, I should then come out with the perfect result. It's not really about that. It's much more about when you do hit it off centre, how do the clubs perform?
Yeah.
There's a big difference across different styles of club, and making it match to where you typically hit it from is going to help you with off-centre hits if you get fitted for that. If you're just buying off the rack, you might get it right. There's a higher likelihood you won't get it as correct or as near helpful as a fitter might help. And it's just nice to be able to go through that process to feel like you've got something that is helping your golf more than it's hindering your golf.
Right.
Just like you say, it's a psychological thing as well. That we try and break the barrier when people come in and try and tell them that you've done the right thing. You don't need to show me perfect, because this is if that's where your golf is at the minute. It's totally fine. We're just trying to give you the best option. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're a team trying to figure out.
Yeah, correct. And that's where like, a lot of people come here and think, oh, well, you'll know in 2 swings. It's like, well, I've got an idea in 2 swings, but it doesn't mean that that's going to be the end result, because you don't want to jump the gun in fittings. It's much more of an experiment than it is a knowledge, because no one is that good where within 2 swings they're going to know exactly what all the specs are going to be, because you need to make sure you give it the due diligence to see the different shots hit, where the typical misses are, and just go through all the things of length, weight of shaft, how does that feel, feedback from the player, what's the interaction with the turf and the club. There's so many different things to it, so it is like an experiment between player and fitter.
Thank you.
Right, let's give this a go.
I don't know why. For sometimes when I'm hitting with my irons, I choke down. I don't know why I do it. I don't know if don't know if it helps or hinders, but I don't know if it's a bad habit, but I choke. So I don't know if I turn my 8 iron into like a 9 iron. I don't know.
Oftentimes it can just be that you're trying to gain that level of control and feel. What we can do is, you measure for a ½ inch down. I'm going to give you, next time I'm going to give you an inch shorter.
Okay.
And let's see how your strike goes.
Okay.
So we're just going to try and find the right weight for the minute, and then we'll go into something of a length change. Yeah, I'm really liking these recoil shafts. The ball's definitely launching higher.
It's a fancy shaft as well.
Good, make sure underneath that elastic band.
Okay.
Contact.
That was good contact.
Okay, last one with this.
Okay.
Obviously we've just tried 3 different shafts. And just wanted to get your feedback first of all on which of those you felt the best. I'll show you the data in a minute, but where was the kind of the best combination so far, did you feel?
Favorite one, first one, third one. So that one, first and last one.
Brilliant. And what about the kind of the use of the product itself, AI 300, like when you look down at it, when it's being hit, what's your feedback on how that is?
They seem like thinner. Are they thinner than my current irons?
Top line wise, yes.
Okay.
Which is a lot of the feedback we're getting is to try and get that kind of sleeker look.
I was going to say, I feel like, I don't know, it feels like it looks smoother, so it feels like you should be like more dynamic with it. I like it.
Yeah, and the kind of the style wise is that way, but it's not lost at the bottom of the golf club and the forgiveness that you're going to get from it as well. What I'm really liking and seeing in the numbers is the launch is a little higher and the spin rate's a little more, particularly in that first combination that we tried, which is giving you an exorbitant amount of more carry, which is going to pump your distances up. But it's also, when we do look, and I'm going to hopefully, depending on what line angle we need here, look to loft these up a little more to make sure that the ball stops. Yeah, because we saw 30 yards with the Paradym X's. Can we get the 300s to land and stop a little sooner? And give you that confidence that you don't need to try and lift the ball in the air yourself. The club's going to do it for you. Yeah. Cool. Right, let's head back to the first shaft we tried. And you'd made a comment on sometimes when you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can oftentimes kind of grip down the golf club.
Yeah.
So let's just test if it feels more comfortable, slightly shorter.
Okay.
So we'll go another ½ inch, which you'll put it down to an inch shorter than standard.
Okay.
Because you statically, from your height in your wrist to the floor, measure for a ½ inch. But let's just see if an inch is better from a contact consistency point of view, quality point of view, and then we can rule it out. Because again, this is an experiment for you to give me feedback, and also we can hear it and see it.
I like the word experiment used on a fitting.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
takes
know.
the pressure off, right?
It does, yeah.
And that's the key, is like anyone who comes in and who's a fitter and says I'm going to know immediately, I would disagree. You should come at it with an open mind of experiment, because that then means you're going to be open to listen to the player, because a lot of this needs to come down to feel and how everything kind of comes together, and then of course data. What's the data saying? How do you feel the ball flight could be improved from a data perspective, but also the player's going to be having it on the golf course. They're not going to have a TrackMan, so they're going to want to have that confidence in that golf club as well. Does it induce that? And it only can come together when they try a variety of things and then settle on, yeah, that one feels the best, and then the data confirms it.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
Right, let's give this a go. That's back to the initial shaft we tried.
Okay.
Now just make sure you're gripping, like you say, just down that now, and now we've got an inch shorter. Let's just see if this brings improvement or not. Much higher, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that a good thing?
Very much so.
Hey.
Very much so. Just because for you right now, if we can keep pushing the ball higher, it just means that we're going to be able to get the ball to go further in distance, because it's going to hit the ground later.
Right.
Whereas if we launch it lower, it's going to hit the ground earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there's a sweet spot for everyone. Right now I'm trying to push that more for you, which, seeing this, very happy.
Whoa.
Okay. Now let me take that back off. And then hold that back. Okay. Now let's hit some without that elastic band on, just normal length.
Oh, see, I don't know, it's a mental thing, so I'm like, I know this club is longer. Christ, okay.
Contact.
There we go. Oh, why does that not happen more often?
Because you don't have these in the bag yet.
True. Nope, that does not feel good. Ah. Nope. Oh.
Okay, now go back to gripping a little bit lower.
Okay.
So there you go, exactly. Good. Just make it get to a comfortable spot for you.
Okay. Oh, so bad.
Good. Really good. Yeah? Much better. So that feels a bit more comfortable where you're gripping it just there?
I think
Lower?
so.
Yeah, just psychologically as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's not a problem. So that's why this is an experiment, because there shouldn't be on paper you measure for this, therefore you have to take that.
Okay.
There should be okay, well, in the first instance, we're going to use that as a starting point. Then it's feedback, because you are the most knowledgeable person about how things feel when you swing a golf club.
Okay.
I can't feel what you can feel. So you absolutely have an opinion. You absolutely should listen into what it feels like as you swing the golf club. Does it feel easier to make contact? Does it feel like I've got room? Does it feel like the weight of the golf club's allowing me to be aware of where the golf club is?
Okay.
If all that's together, then we look to edit it to where you feel comfortable. So would you say right now that slightly lower felt more confidence giving
I think so.
versus going up higher?
Yeah.
Yeah? Go at me a couple more like that, and then we'll have a look at lie angle.
Okay. So you want more
Just
choke
go
down?
a little lower, and then when they come, they'll come shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably look to take an inch off of these rather than a ½ inch.
Okay.
There you go. Much better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when a club's too long as well, that can start to push the club into the ground earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, if we get it feeling more comfortable to you, you'll start to make more potentially ball first contact. Yes, please.
Yeah, that was good.
Wowzers.
Yeah, definitely choke down.
Yeah. And again, don't be nervous or unsure and feel like you don't have that kind of confidence to say what is better, because again, it's about your feel. Your feel is really important, because when you're on the golf course, that's what you're relying on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's absolutely something that we ask for is feedback. How does it feel? Because particularly the experience you've got now, you've played a lot of golf. So you know when something instantly is going to feel right or wrong when you took that backswing and you're like, no, that doesn't feel right. Got to start again. Yeah, so you've got that. That's fine. Really, really liking to see here, if you come and have a little look, your own one to start with was these numbers here. Okay. So you've got 66 miles an hour at the start there. So these top numbers there. Okay. Okay, so you were starting at a 98 carry. Now in each of these different ones we've tried, all of these carries have been way more. So instead of 98, we've had as high as 126. Yeah, but even the lowest one's a bit 105. Right. Yeah. Now, when we've been hitting this shot at the moment, the best we've had so far, we've got it to a carry of 126 in the air, and then to a 150 kind of total number. Okay. Yeah, which is what we've been looking for, getting the ball to come in from higher, 41 feet rather than 27, get the ball carrying more, but also get the ball, this number, landing angle is, if I've got the golf ball coming in flatter, it's going to roll more. Okay. If I've got the landing angle coming in steeper, it's going to stop quicker. Yeah. So we're trying to get that to a position where it allows, with the spin, allows the ball to stop at the correct amount. Okay. Driver, we want to get that to go as far as possible. Yeah. With iron, far as possible doesn't help, because then it's not staying on the green. The goal in golf is get it in the hole. Right. It's not to airmail the green. Yeah? It's to keep it in the green where you can then use your putter, which is why it's important when we fit to make sure you're getting distances where the difference between carry and total is controlled. Okay. Yeah? Right. Cool. So let's stay with that. I'm really liking that. And the swing speed right now is in the high 60s. Okay. I'm going to opt right now not to go into regular, because at this weight, which I think is really good for you, I'm going to keep it in what we class here as the light flex. Really? Yeah, absolutely. Because what that's doing is it's helping you hit the ball up in the air. Okay. It's helping keep the ball going up, and it's not pushing above that 70 range, which I feel you need regular for. I think right now I want to try and help the ball get up as much as we can. Regular? In the irons, yes. Really? Yeah. Now the reason we went for that initially was because we were talking at that stage about, we were in the off season and you were talking about gym and how you were going to try and increase swing speed, move things faster, lessons and such. we've not seen that increase.
Okay.
So it stayed at kind of the high 60s, which if it's going to stay there, you've hit better the light flex than you have the regular.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we were always looking to, okay, well, what's going to happen? Are you going to look to increase your swing speed?
I mean, I would want to, but what do I want? Like, would I rather focus on hitting the centre of the club or hitting...
Again, it
fast?
depends, because if you do look to bring your swing speed up and your power goes higher, more lessons brings more speed because you're improving the use of the ground and whatever you work on, then yes, then that regular shaft may be more of the flex we go for. Because that was the initial idea last year, that was the plan. Then fast forward to this year, it's high 60s,
Right.
and you've hit that shaft better than you have the regular one. Yeah?
Right.
So it's always about what you're going to hit, but also long term. So what is the plan?
Plan was that back then to get lessons, and I've still to get lessons. I mean, I am going to get lessons.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suggest?
Well, let's put the regular back in.
Okay.
Put it back to that inch shorter and see
Okay.
how you feel.
Alright.
Because if it doesn't feel too bad and it's still giving us okay numbers, then we stick with regular.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, if it's going to stay where it is and the regular's bringing the ball flight down, I'd rather not you stay in regular if that swing speed's going to stay.
Okay.
So that's why I always ask, what is the plan? Because if we're going to look to see the swing speed increase, the shaft that you may be have in your hand right now might not then be the correct shaft when that happens. Then you're going to have to go ahead and get another shaft put in there.
Right.
So that's why we've always got to ask that question and find out what is the plan and is that going to shift?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, now the difference between flexes is going to be absolutely minimal. You're not even going to notice if we
Really?
went for the light flex. It doesn't really matter. But again, it just means that with a regular flex is more beneficial with a faster swing speed, upwards of that 70 miles an hour mark, which you're very close to. But again, that's why we need to be clear on what does the plan look like.
Yeah.
If the plan is to get faster, stronger lessons which induce that, then we've got to be focusing more on maybe that regular rather than the light flex.
Right.
If it's going to look to stay the same and the regular flex is pushing the ball down, not up, then we go the opposite way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a negative if you go down. It's not a better or worse thing. It's a what's going to help you get the most out of your golf.
All right.
Contact.
Yeah.
It's definitely more comfortable with that length, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's even a better miss as well with that length too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Actually, they're not been that bad, have they? Oh, it's done.
Feels?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
It feels fine. Like.
Yeah. And if we put the other one back in, because again, that's where now we're going to be a little bit more aware on. So we got numbers there, which were still really good, still better than your own. Let's see how this feels.
Oh, that's a baddie. That's totally off the heel.
Much better contact.
Oh. Fuck her off. Oh, it's not good.
Now, whatever that happens in a fit, best thing to do is just put the ball to where you're going to hit it from. And then imagine you're on the golf course, come and stand back, take a look at your target, get into your routine. Get out of your own head.
Routine. I don't have a routine.
Yes, you do.
You know, I just. Yeah. You know, your swing just feels like shit. And then I'm.
Sorry if you want that, Teddy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Contact. Oh, yes, please.
Hey. I like this one. What's this one?
So interestingly, that's the regular.
Oh, okay.
So again, the weight you had in the MMT, which we got last time round, is absolutely the weight we need to take.
Okay.
Now, this year we've got the HTC Dart in there, which is more of a higher launching, higher spinning versus the MMT, which is helping alongside. The AA300 is making a big difference here. The extra loft on it, the probably also maybe even preferring the look of it as you look down at it. It feels more comfortable. Shortening that length up a little bit has made a difference. From what I can hear from you, you've felt more comfortable gripping down as you've played more with the other clubs. So going an inch shorter. And I'd say we've just had a nice kind of chat off camera that you're going to focus on getting faster.
Yeah.
So I'd, again, just like last time, be happier with you taking the regular flex than with the light flex, because you're right on the edge of when you are swinging at the most comfortable, being at a regular flex, which as you continue to grow in your golf, I'm always making an importance of, okay, well, if someone's going to go ahead and take a set of golf clubs, they want them to last at least 5 years.
Right.
Maybe 3 for some people, 5 for others, but I try and give them life in their golf clubs. For you, if that's going to be increasing in speed, the weight's going to be just as good for you, but I think making sure that the shaft flex then matches up with the speed you've got will make sure that it doesn't feel like there's too much give in the shaft. So I'm happy with you taking the regular because of the game, the long-term plan of you going to try and lessons is going to help you get more speed with you, your golf-specific exercises to help power translate from the strength you've got. Then I am going to loft those clubs up as well. This is 40 grams.
Jeez, that's light. Okay.
So go hit a few with that. Can you feel anything there?
It feels like I've kind of got less control over a wee bit. I don't know.
Just not aware where the club is.
A wee bit, yeah.
Then let's go the opposite end of the spectrum.
You know what's so weird? I keep feeling my hip hit my right foot. Are you seeing that? Like, you know when you swing on your inside, I keep doing that for some reason. I don't know why.
Don't overthink it.
I think I'm totally feeling every single
That's where
part.
she gets that from.
Literally, it's really annoying.
Go grip lower on this because this one was the length, which was fine. That one's a little bit too long. So yeah, but go hit this and then you'll tell a difference. You should be able to tell a difference on this as you swing it.
Oh. But I think this
So could you tell a difference between that?
Bit, yeah.
What would you feel? What was the difference?
I like this one. You can actually like feel it go with you.
Yeah, you can feel the weight of it, can't you? Yeah.
Oh.
Now that's what happens when, on either side of the spectrum, when we go a little bit too light or too heavy, the consistency drops because either you're not aware of the weight because it feels very wafty, or it feels like a sledgehammer and it's like, oh, that felt like so much weight to try and move around. Yeah. Whereas that's why weight's important because I initially gave you 40 grams. That's 100 grams, but that's why you liked this one more than the 40 because that was nearer to the 70. Yeah, that was nearer to the feeling of weight. Whereas the 40, although similarly the 30 grams either side, this one feels like it's got weight, whereas the other one felt like it could have been swinging a cloud and you wouldn't have known where it was. Yeah, because it's just super light. So all this is just grip it underneath that elastic band.
Okay.
Let's get a check on where you hit it from in the tape, and then that line, we'll see it have a tilt on it when you hit it, and it'll show us how the club is coming into the golf ball, and if we need to move the lie angle, it's called, to help you make sure you strike it as much in the middle as we can.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Right, let's do it.
Right. Actually,
Pretty middle?
yeah, I think.
Good job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You can see the line of the ball as well. Oh.
Right, let's go again.
Okay.
Yep. Again, making sure that's underneath that elastic band. Much better contact. Good job. Good. All right, let's have a look.
I knew that was toy. Knew it.
Okay, so what that's showing us here, if we take a look at the lines here, is they look a little bit tilted here. If they look a little bit tilted here, yeah, so they're matching kind of these lines over here, that means that you were hitting the golf ball when the club was like this. Okay, because the ball was lined up 90 degrees straight.
Okay.
So for them lines to look straight, you must have been delivering the golf club a little bit too much this way. So what we're going to look to do now is I'm going to change the settings on this cog here to make the lie angle more this way, so that when you do that, it returns it a little bit more flush, and it should hopefully start to move the strikes more central.
Okay.
All right, cool. So let's give that a go. I'll keep this tape here.
What would you rather have, heels or toes?
Middle.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's not
Secret answer C. I would say I personally would go towards more of the toe,
Really?
just because then the unmentionable cannot happen.
We shall not mention the S word.
We cannot mention that must not be named.
So I've only done it twice today, or 3 times.
When was this? Was this in the warm-up?
No, it's right in front of you guys.
That was a toe.
That was a toe one. Yeah, we've not seen a full blown.
I know. Oh.
Yeah, we've not seen the. We won't mention. But absolutely, that's why this is always a conversation, and right until the end of the fit, it's not a decision until we have gone through the process, seen you hit it a few times, made sure that we're absolutely happy with what the long-term plan is.
Yeah.
And then we just refine things to make sure that they are going to perform as good as we can get them to perform.
Yeah.
Holla. Okay, final one. Cool. Let's have a look at those. Good. Okay, so if we take a look at these, they were the first ones. Coming nearer to the toe here, on average, shift in the middle of it over here. Whereas now we've started to see more of the strike shift more over this way. Lines here slightly tilted there. These lines are starting to get a little bit more straight. We've got a straight one here, straight one there, slightly toey in that one, slightly more toe down. But other than that, I would look to move these. I'm going to loft them up 2 and then make them upright 1 to make sure that we've got the height we need, but also making sure that that strike can start averaging near center rather than being shifted more towards the toe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool.
That's
So
really interesting.
we had said before about how you don't reach for your 6-iron.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would then be looking to move and go 7-iron down? Or are you still going to be trying to persevere with the 6-iron?
I think that was just I don't like long clubs, and I was choking down. Whereas now that I feel that it's a 6-iron but short for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't want to get into the bad habit of I don't like this club, so I just didn't practice I didn't use my 6-iron and practice with it.
Cool.
So I feel like I should not force myself, but I should practice my 6-iron.
Yeah, and I think particularly with your commitment to the plan of swing speed going up,
Yeah.
I think you will get more out of using 6-iron than 6 hybrid at this stage.
Okay.
I think if we go 6 hybrid, we don't want to continue that narrative of long irons being an issue, because in time you might actually then prefer using 6-iron, moving on maybe into 5-iron as the swing speed goes up. And the irons are going to give you a little bit more consistent control over your distances, whereas we put that hybrid in and then you do get vaster. That might not then be the case. So at the minute I'd probably say keep the 6-iron in.
Okay.
Stay away from 5-iron for the minute. There's no need to have 5-iron in there. And then I would go all the way down to our kind of wedge in this. Now, let me just double check something here first, because you've got what as your, you've got the Opus 52?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I've got a pitching wedge and approach.
Okay.
And approach.
So, I would recommend that you do go 6 to A again to get that gap in, and then the 52 would come in. Be interesting to see what the gap would be between the 52 and the A wedge, but I do recommend that you get it to put that in there. Okay. Any questions for me?
Nope.
No? So just one last look. What we can see here, from a distances point of view, 98, 125, 126, to 148. Keep doing that. There we go. To a 148. Okay, we've seen a little bit of an increase in the spin in averages. We've seen a definite increase in the landing angles of the golf ball. So it's coming in from a little bit higher, and then the landing angles here are coming in from a little bit steeper. So keeping the ball in the air for longer is key. Making sure that it stops within its distance. Total distance is also key. So you hit the green rather than rolling it in. Yeah?
Cool, good fitting. So that says finish with the fitting. We are bidding farewell to the Paradyms and introducing the Apex irons. And I'll be looking forward to see how my golf game continues this season, or not season, off season, but how we'll get on with the Callaway Apexes. And if you guys are following my journey, you will find out. So thank you for watching. And thank you, Mike, for fitting.
No problem, anytime.
Oh, I'm not cut off for this YouTube game. Oh my God.